Dollar Tree just quietly restocks something that, at full retail, runs almost 12 times what you'll pay at the register today. And no, it's not the seasonal candy. Stick around, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly which shelf to check before it's gone. And which ones, honestly, I'd skip. If videos like this help you shop smarter, a quick like helps this channel keep finding these deals, so let's get into it. At Dollar Tree, this one rings up at a plain $1.25. The nearly identical style shows up at Target for $9.99, which puts the Dollar Tree version at roughly 8 times cheaper. Employees say the reason it holds up is the pump mechanism. It's the same generic pump used across dozens of price points, so you're not actually losing quality, just paying less for the branding around it. Many people report using these to replace mismatched plastic bottles by the kitchen sink, which sounds small, but it's one of those changes that makes a rental apartment feel finished. The honest downside is the ceramic base can chip if it's dropped on tile, so it's not one to hand to young kids unsupervised. A bonus tip: buy 2, keep 1 as a backup, since these particular finishes tend to sell out fast once a store gets a shipment in. Next, there's an item in the cleaning aisle that customers often say they wish they'd discovered years ago. This 4-pack costs $1.25 at Dollar Tree. Amazon sells a nearly identical 4-pack for $6.49, which works out to about 5 times more expensive. The reason these hold up is the weave density. Customers often notice these are a tighter knit than the ultra-thin ones some dollar stores carry, so they actually lift dust instead of pushing it around. A common use case is stocking 1 cloth per room, so cleaning never turns into a search for a rag, which matters a lot for anyone managing a household solo or caring for aging parents who need a lower-effort routine. The caveat here is that after roughly 30 washes, the cloths lose some of their static cling pickup, so treat them as a renewable supply, not a lifetime purchase. Bonus tip: wash them separately from towels, since lint transfer reduces their effectiveness. Coming up next is a pick from the health and beauty aisle that pharmacists have quietly recommended. Reading glasses at Dollar Tree run $1.25 per pair. CVS prices a comparable pair at $9.99, roughly 8 times more. Employees say the lenses use the same basic polycarbonate as drugstore brand glasses, since this is a non-prescription commodity item without much room for hidden downgrades. The emotional use case here is real. Many people report buying 3 or 4 pairs and stashing them around the house, one by the recliner, one in the car, one in a coat pocket, specifically for elderly parents who lose track of a single pair constantly. The honest caveat is the frames are lightweight plastic, so they're not built for someone who's rough on glasses or sits on them often. Bonus tip: check the strength chart on the display rack carefully, since store stock varies week to week, and the higher strengths sell out first. Next up is a surprisingly practical item from the office supply section. This 6-pack of adhesive hooks costs $1.25. The name brand version at Walmart runs $7.48 for a similar pack, close to 6 times the price. What makes the Dollar Tree version hold up reasonably well is the adhesive strip itself, which employees say is licensed from a similar formula to bigger brands, just packaged more simply. A common use case is renters hanging string lights, command centers for keys, or lightweight decor without damaging walls, which matters a lot when a security deposit is on the line. The one real downside customers mention is that these hold noticeably less weight than the premium brand. Think light jackets and small bags, not heavy mirrors. Bonus tip: press firmly and wait the full hour before hanging anything, since rushing the cure time is the most common reason people say these fail. Next, an item in the kitchen aisle that home cooks specifically look for by name. Dollar Tree's silicone baking mat is $1.25. Amazon's comparable mat runs $11.99, almost 10 times more. The reason it performs well despite the price is that silicone itself is a cheap raw material. The markup on baking mats elsewhere is mostly brand name, not manufacturing cost. Many home bakers use this for portion control with kids' snacks or for lining pans during holiday baking marathons, since it saves both money and the mental load of scrubbing sheet pans afterward. The caveat worth knowing is the mat is thinner than premium versions, so it can curl slightly at the edges in a very hot oven. Bonus tip: hand wash instead of running it through the dishwasher, since that extends the surface life considerably. Coming up next a pick that pet owners specifically say has replaced a much pricier product. This roll of extra-thick pet waste bags is $1.25 at Dollar Tree. A similar thickness bag at Target costs $6.99, more than 5 times as much. Employees say the reason quality holds is that waste bags are a simple polyethylene product where thickness, not branding, is the main quality factor, and this one tests as genuinely thicker than the thin free bags some parks provide. The use case that comes up again and again is convenience for daily dog walks, especially for people managing multiple pets, where the cost of bags adds up fast over a year. The one downside worth naming is the bags are unscented, so if odor control matters to you specifically, you may want a scented version elsewhere. Bonus tip: buy 2 rolls at a time, since these tend to move quickly and don't always restock the same week. Next is an item from the school and office aisle parents ask about constantly. The 1-inch 3-ring binder is $1.25 at Dollar Tree. Walmart's house brand runs $4.97, close to 4 times more. What holds up here, according to employees, is the D-ring mechanism itself, which is a licensed hardware component used across many binder brands regardless of price point. Parents often mention buying 5 or 6 at once during back-to-school season, since outfitting multiple kids with binders for every subject gets expensive fast at full retail price. The honest caveat is the outer cover material is a bit thinner than name brand versions, so it can crease at the corners with heavy daily use. Bonus tip: reinforce the corners with a strip of clear packing tape on day 1, and the binder will comfortably last the full school year. Next, we're heading into the tools and hardware aisle for a pick that surprised even some employees. This 6-pack of flameless LED tea lights costs $1.25. A comparable pack at Home Depot runs $8.98, roughly 7 times more. The reason these perform well is that LED tea lights use extremely simple, low-cost internal components, so there isn't much technical difference between a cheap one and an expensive one. The emotional use case customers mention most is safety, specifically using these instead of real candles in homes with young children or elderly family members who might forget to blow one out. The downside worth noting is the batteries included are usually the minimum capacity type, so many people swap them out immediately for longer-lasting ones. Bonus tip: keep a few spare batteries on hand so you're not caught without light during a power outage. Coming up, an item from the automotive aisle that regular customers say they buy in bulk. The car wash mitt at Dollar Tree is $1.25. Amazon's comparable version sells for $7.99, close to 6 times the price. Employees say the mitt holds up because the microfiber fill is a similar density to mid-range detailing brands, since car care microfiber products don't vary as wildly in manufacturing cost as their price tags suggest. A common use case people mention is fitting a full car wash and detail into a tight weekend schedule without spending detailing shop money, especially for anyone maintaining a car for a teenager or a first-time driver in the family. The caveat is the mitt's backing strap is on the thin side, so it can stretch out faster than a premium mitt with heavy weekly use. Bonus tip: rinse and hang it to dry fully between uses, since trapped moisture is what shortens its lifespan fastest. Next, we're looking at a seasonal item that tends to disappear off shelves within days. This insulated bottle costs $1.25 at Dollar Tree. A visually similar insulated bottle at Target runs $12.99, roughly 10 times more. Employees say the insulation performs at a basic level. Customers often notice it keeps drinks cool for a few hours, not all day like premium double-wall steel bottles, because the wall construction is thinner. The use case that comes up constantly is outfitting a household with enough bottles that nobody's fighting over the one good cup, which matters for busy families trying to cut back on disposable plastic bottles. The honest downside is the lid seal isn't fully leak-proof, so it's better suited for a bag pocket than a purse next to electronics. Bonus tip: hand wash only, since the finish can dull quickly in a dishwasher's heat cycle. Last up before we wrap, one item that's become something of a word-of-mouth favorite in this niche. This small storage bin with a snap lid is $1.25. The Home Depot equivalent runs $5.48, close to 4.5 times more. Employees say the plastic itself holds up reasonably well for light-duty use, since these bins aren't designed for heavy stacking but perform fine for everyday organizing. Many people report using these for small parts organization in a garage or for organizing a child's craft supplies, which is a small change that noticeably cuts down daily clutter and the time spent hunting for things. The caveat is, the lid can warp slightly if left in direct sun or a hot car trunk for long periods, so it's best for indoor storage. Bonus tip: label the short end instead of the top, since that's the side you'll actually see on a shelf. That wraps our list of 15 finds worth grabbing this month. So here's the bigger pattern across everything we covered today. A lot of what ends up on Dollar Tree shelves isn't cheaper because it's lower quality. It's cheaper because the raw materials themselves were never expensive to begin with, and other retailers are largely charging you for the name on the label. Personally, I think the real skill in shopping here isn't finding everything worth buying. It's knowing which few things to walk past. The spending trap I'd warn you about is buying in bulk just because something is inexpensive. If you don't have a specific need for 6 binders or 4 water bottles, stacking up cheap items is still spending money on things that sit in a closet unused. Buy for a purpose, not because the price makes it feel free. If this kind of breakdown is useful to you, a like helps more than you'd think, and subscribing means you won't miss next month's restock list. Before you go, let me know in the comments, which of these 15 have you already tried, and did it hold up the way employees say it does? See you in the next one.